Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mateo Encinosa, and I'm the general manager here at Scuba Works. I've been working in the dive industry for the last 2 years, as well as retail management for the last 6 years. As Warren G. Bennis once said, in life, change is inevitable, but in business, change is vital. In an industry where customer retention is vital, it is imperative that we do a better job of retaining our new divers. There is lower cost compared to customer acquisition per study, where 82% of businesses said that they did see a lower cost compared to actually acquiring new customers. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about how this is a really important subject for us and the different symptoms and effects of low customer retention and how that's impacting us, as well as some solutions with some possible advantages and disadvantages to each of these solutions. So what is the problem? How are we seeing this manifested in our business? We have approximately a drop-off of about 75% rate from open water, our basic certification course, to the next level, the advanced open water course. Research shows that loyal customers are 23% more likely to spend than the average customer. And in our business, this is exasperated. Our average open water diver spends about $500 through their lifetime as a customer with us. That's not a lot. Our average customer who continuously dives on our boat, who's dove at least 5 to 10 times in the last 2 years, spends in that 2-year time period, which is about the average lifespan of our customers, spends about $7.5 grand. That's a huge difference. 15 times as much than the average open water customer. So these repeat divers, they spend a lot with us, right? With less students in continuing education classes, instructors are having to teach classes, these Con Ed classes, with less students, which means less pay, since we do pay per head. As the price of products in the dive industry continues to rise, our gross revenue from product sales is staying constant. So when you look at that, our margin on products is actually turning and getting smaller, so we're making less of a profit each year as our prices stay the same, our profits stay the same, yet margins are lowering. What are some of the causes of this? When you look at the causes, we see that we have a high class size compared to that of other dive shops. We pump in 8 to 10 students, which creates a less personal experience, creates an impersonal experience that doesn't hook new divers, as well as a smaller, more personable class. When speaking to customers who continue to come back to Scuba Works and dive with us, the #1 reason they list coming back and diving with us is our customer service and the camaraderie that is built within between our staff. Right? Reviews often mention about how wonderful it is to dive with professionals that remember their name and treat them like family. And this is in stark contrast to our open water classes, where you barely have enough time to learn everyone's name in that 4-day span, where you have that many students. What are the possible solutions to this? So let's look at that. The most obvious one is we could reduce the class sizes of open water classes to make a more personalized experience. There are some cons to this. We do have a lot of fixed costs, but the overall revenue for the class would come down because we have less students in the class, right? Per student, we're having to pay for pool sessions and whatnot, and we usually rent that out as an entire pool where it's a flat cost. Per student, we're spending about $185 while charging $300. So we would be reducing the actual price of or increasing that fixed cost right there or per student to make this work. We would also need to charge more for the class, since we would need to pay our instructors more. We're looking at least a $75 increase per student, with us again taking no additional profits off of that. That still puts us below the cost of other dive shops in the area. Pretty much every other dive shop in the area charges more than that to begin with. Right? There are a lot of pros to this though. More one-on-one time with instructors, which means more personalized experience. They get hooked on the idea better, and they become more proficient divers. More proficient divers means that they won't be coming out here and having to struggle as much, and they'll feel more comfortable diving and continuing offshore and doing other types of dives. There's another option as well. We can offer rewards programs based on dive trips taken, such as dive 5 times, get the next dive free. There are a lot of pros to this. You can increase trip reservations, and it helps get students from the class to the ocean, right? On the flip side, it can look very silly. So that's one thing that we'd have to really approach this with a lot of tact, and our marketing team would have to work very hard to make sure that this doesn't look like we're just trying to sell them boat trips and get them to come out just based off that and focusing too much on the cost of it, right? This could also drop revenue from those who would actually already be diving with us. If they're going to spend on 10 boat trips, then if we're giving them a discount that they weren't already looking for, that could actually just drop our profits. Right? So in conclusion, we've seen low customer retention over the years due to an incongruence between the way that the basic certification course is conducted compared to that of the rest of the way that we conduct business around here. We have a very hands-on white glove experience, but that's not how we run our open water classes. 65% of a company's business comes from existing customers. As seen from how much the average customer who dives with us regularly spends over 2 years compared to that open water diver, the average open water diver who does not continue to come back, there is a huge difference in how much they spend. And again, there are some possible solutions. We can reduce class sizes or offer incentive programs to get people to continue to come out once they've already started diving on our boat. And as Jules Verne once said, the sea is everything. So it's our job to make sure that they feel that same love for the sea and grow attached to it and keep coming out and